Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a while since I made a video, but we are back, people. Misfit 4 just happened and this has been the best event without a doubt. Let's just start from the start and we're going to go all the way to the end. I'm just going to quickly review every match and just give my opinion on it. The event started with Idris Virgo versus Anthony Taylor, and Idris Virgo winning by unanimous decision. Now this fight, you could argue, was probably the least entertaining match. So there's not much to talk about it because Idris is clearly the better boxer. Now the second fight, we had El Brook against Faith. Now by the way, El Brook did win, I'm sure you all know, via a first round knockout. Now this fight, I was very excited, and boys and girls, this fight did not disappoint. This fight started 100 miles per hour. All the technique went out the window. Everything we saw from the pads in the public training workout went through the window, which is expected because it was Faith's first boxing match, and the nerves and the lights clearly had an effect on her, and deservedly El Brook won it. So it'll be interesting to see who she fights next and whether Faith does return. Hopefully she does return. It was quite interesting, so hopefully she does come back. We then had return of the GOAT. Swarms defeats Ryan Taylor versus a first round KO. All it took was one punch from Swarms, and Ryan Taylor did not want to face the wrath of Swarms, and he just gave up. Now Ryan Taylor clearly did not want to be in the ring, so he got an excuse to get out of the ring. Credit to Swarms, those shoulder movements the guy was doing, he was moving like prime Floyd Mayweather. But then the ultimate GOAT returned. Luis Pineda comes back and defeats B. Dave via a unanimous decision. One entrance, probably the best boxing entrance we have seen in crossover boxing, no doubt about it. The Undertaker theme entrance, and then the band, it was a W after W, and it was topped off by Pineda getting his first win in I don't know how many matches, but the GOAT returned. The first round of that match honestly was crazy, and that is what's the best thing about Misfit, that you can have moments like this. People will never forget moments like this. This added WWE theme just makes it so much entertaining. Now the next fight was probably one of the most anticipated fights. Soul Puppy against Josh Bruckner. Soul Puppy won by a second round knockout. Soul Puppy has been questioned a lot. A lot of people saying he was fighting bombs and he needs to be tested. But after that match, he silenced doubters. The guy looked like a professional in that ring, and someone who has been boxing for many years. Like, the experience he shows in the ring is just unbelievable, and he is truly a challenge for anyone in Misfit, and I'm excited to see who he fights next. The rumors before the fight were people were ducking Soul Puppy. Now you can definitely say there is some truth to that. It will be interesting to see who he fights next. We then had the return of the Hitman Slim against Tom Zanetti, and Slim winning by a unanimous decision. This fight was an all-out war, and Tom Zanetti, what a chin this guy had. I would say from the first 10 seconds with Tom screaming, he probably just gassed him out, and you could see, especially in the last few rounds. But for someone who hasn't boxed before, what a performance. Now talking about Slim with another great win, especially against someone who is bigger than him. One thing we do have to talk about Slim is his gas tank. We saw this during the Ryan Taylor fight and we all ignored it, just assuming that it would change. But again, for this fight, it didn't look like anything changed. He just seems to gas out very quickly. And for what was supposed to be an easy fight for Slim, it turned out to be a very tough match for Slim. And you could argue it was close to being a draw at the end, especially with Tom's performance in that third round. But ultimately, Slim does need to go back and improve his cardio, because he has the accuracy, the power, it's all there without no doubt. Now we go to the final event. KSI versus TEMPERRR. Just one thing, I don't understand why they keep calling him FaZe. Like, hasn't anyone told these announcers his name is TEMPERRR, not FaZe? FaZe is the company. But moving on from that, I like both guys. I've watched both probably since 2010, and these guys have inspired millions, and I hated the fact they were fighting against each other. TEMPERRR, 6'4" southpaw, was going to be a big test for KSI, but credit to KSI, he made it easy work. And finally, we have seen a clean punch from KSI finally connecting, and we have seen the damage it can cause. I mean, TEMPERRR struggled to get back up, and we all knew KSI has the power, but the question we always had, when is one going to land? And finally we saw it, and unfortunately it was only for one round. I did feel a bit ripped off, but the undercards made up for it. In terms of the fight, there was moments where TEMPERRR was clipping KSI because he kept rushing in. So that is something KSI does need to improve. You can argue, obviously, because of the moment, he probably felt some pressure to go impress everyone and wanted to get that highlight reel. Luckily, he wasn't punished for it against TEMPERRR, but against a more powerful boxer, he could have been punished for rushing into punches like that. It'll be interesting to see who he fights next. A lot of names have come up, the likes of Fournier, Slim, Woodley. Personally, Personally, I want to see Fournier just because KSI does need to close that gap between him and Jake as soon as possible. And as long as Jake keeps winning and fighting, the gap will only get bigger. So I would say Fournier as soon as possible. That will be a big test for KSI. But yeah, guys, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll try upload, but no guarantees, guys.